bottles and wasted time. I got nothing to show for all my wasted time, except the trouble, worried mind. I got nothing to show for wasted time.
We'll have a talk about this today. This is Rickman Montesa, Rickman frames. Some of you young blokes mightn't have it. They were made in England and they made lots of frames to suit different engines. They also produced whole bikes using other people's engines. This is 1971 model, back when this old bloke was only 20 years old. And I always really wanted a Rickman. I thought they were just the most beautiful little thing ever. They brought a lot out to Australia with 125 sax motors. They were quite common and they were usually painted, like a powder blue colour. And we got a fair few Bultacos out here as well, but very, very few Montesas. The Montesas seem to go to America. This is an American import. Was brought in by a local guy around Bendigo. And as soon as it came up for sale, I just jumped straight on it. I had to have it because I always wanted one when I was a young lad.
It's a ripper looking bike.
Yeah, look, and they had this super lightweight chrome moly frame. They had tapered roller bearings, which I've just replaced. Just replaced the tapered roller bearings, top and bottom. I've cleaned up all this. I've put new dust covers and seals in the forks. As you can see, the forks, everything, they look brand new. These are Continental forks. I'm not sure whether they're Mazocchis or something like that. But they'll be one of those type of forks. They look to me a bit like Mazocchis, but anyway, I'll be stand corrected on that. Okay. These were very popular in America. Rickman actually had an agency in America, like an importer, and they imported heaps and heaps of them. The engine supply sort of varied a bit over time because, like say, Bultaco couldn't supply engines, so they got Montesas and Sax and so on. But they were a competitive bike in their day. All fiberglass, everything's fiberglass. This has got a Bing carby on it, which was pretty common with Montesas. And this motor is a 250 Capra engine, which was the early motocrosser. They're actually 5-speed, but for some silly reason they made the 125s 4-speed, and they made the 250s 5-speed, which you would think would be the opposite way around.
You'd think so, would you?
You would think so. But anyway, these motors had a reputation of being really, really strong. As opposed to Bultaco, these actually had a gear primary drive, where the Bultacos had a chain drive, which I like a little bit better.
Yep.
And they're very different to riding a Japanese bike. Like if you rode a 250 Yamaha of the same era, these feel totally different. They've got torque. They're very torquey motor, whereas the Yamis are very revvy, peaky motor.
Yes.
These have got a good spread of power right through the range. I actually did ride one a few times. They were painted grey, the original Montesa Capras. I'm not talking about Rickman's, I'm talking about the Montesa manufactured bike. They were painted in a grey colour. I rode one of those quite a few times around local tracks, and I was always impressed of how it pulled so well. It wasn't overly critical if you're in a lower gear or something. You could still go.
Wind her on, yep.
You still go, you just had to wind her on. Yep.
Excellent. So
this is basically a absolutely bog standard bike. It hasn't been tinkered with at all. So I've just decided to give it a little birthday by doing the forks. I'm going to pull the carby off and put it through the ultrasonic cleaner. I'll check all the oils, etc., in it.
Yeah. I even had all the original levers and everything.
Yeah, all the original Magura levers and everything were on it.
And the little dust covers.
Yeah, and I've still got those. Yep. The only thing going to change is the handlebars, because it had handlebars. They look like something off a kid's push bike, but I think they were originals. But
we've got some rentals.
Got some rentals to put on it.
Some old style rentals.
Yeah, solid aluminium rentals to put on it. So we'll put those on. And the only other thing I'm going to do is put a trials tyre on the back, so that we can ride it over at Broadford. It's got a very serious knobby on the back at the moment.
I can't wait to have a ride.
Oh, mate, you'll love it. You will. You'll love it. Apparently, these they slide quite well too. These.
Yeah, fantastic.
Apparently, they steer quite well and slide. So anyway, I'm not going to do anything to the paintwork or anything at this stage. I might get the seat tidied up a bit. I've spoken to the local seat upholsterer and he said he'll do it for me. So that's all right. The upholsterer from our motorbike club.
Excellent.
He said he'll do it for us. There's going to be a problem. It has had one bit of a disaster. The steering stop's been sheared off, which is not that unusual with motocross bikes.
Yeah.
So I'll do a repair on that.
But other than that's pretty good, isn't it? It's got
Look,
the right
it's a good
pipe,
bike.
it's got the right muffler.
Yep, it's got a bit of a ding in the front rim, but it's only a steel rim.
Yep. And it was just missing
The brake pedal.
the brake pedal and part of the number plate
Yeah, that's it.
on the other
Yeah,
side.
that's it. On this side. It's
So the number plate that goes
there, under the muffler.
below the muffler. But that's the
We'll soon fix something there. That won't be a problem.
standard exhaust.
Yeah, probably. It's got the original shocks and everything. on it.
Muffler, yep, all the right gear, right
Yeah,
wheels.
It's got the beautiful Rickman hubs.
Yeah, they're fancy, aren't they? They're nice.
Stamped. You got the R stamped on them for Rickman.
Yep.
They also made frame kits like for 650 Triumph road racing frames, and they also brought out
All sorts of stuff. No, Honda fours and Kawasaki's.
They did in later years.
Yeah.
Back in the older days, they brought out a frame. They manufactured a whole bike with a 750cc Royal Enfield Interceptor engine in it.
Yeah, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And a lot of those were imported into Western Australia.
Yeah, okay.
We've got a few here.
Yep.
And they're just a gorgeous looking bike. They had a few odd little things about them, but anyway, that was just the way they did it.
Yep.
But the Rickman brothers, Don and Derek Rickman, just passed away like in the last 18 months. But they were motocross champs. They rode their product and they called it Rickman Montesa. And if you know anything about French, that means mongrel. Montesa means mongrel because it was made of various bits and pieces, so it was a Rickman mongrel.
I like the chain adjustment. You move the swing arm back,
Yeah,
you don't
yes.
move the wheel.
Yeah, the swinging arm moves, it's in the eccentrics. It moves, and it's got a fixed rear axle. Just lots of little things on them. The air cleaner, when I pulled it off, it just sort of disintegrated into dust, so I've made up a new air cleaner for it, and I'll be putting that in as well. But I just really want to put the carby through the cleaner and see how that goes. Something I didn't mention, I did tip a little bit of fuel in it when I got it, and I gave it about 3 kicks and it burst into life, so
Yeah, fantastic.
hopefully that's a good sign. I didn't run it long enough just to see how good the engine was, but it did run and sounded fantastic, so we'll just go from there.
Worried mind, I got nothing to show for, wasted time.
Okay, we're doing another little job here. This is a TT9 carburettor, Amel. These were pre-GP carbs, and there were a lot of these around on more exotic bikes, like high-performance bikes, like even back in the early days, like Sunbeams and probably Norton Internationals, and that would have had these sort of carbies on them.
Okay.
They were put on twin-cylinder bikes as well. There's a matching pair of these put on twin-cylinder bikes. They're a bit of a performance carby in their day. Most of them were worn out, but this one's pretty good. A friend of mine donated this one to me for one of our projects, which we'll talk about down the track. But I've had it cleaned by Craig Jenkins, who, as always, has done an awesome job.
Fabulous job, yeah.
How good's that?
Yeah, it looks great.
Now with these two, it's got the throat size stamped on the little brass plug on the end there.
Yes.
That one's inch and a 32nd, inch and a 16th, I think. It might be inch and a 16th anyway. But it's got and the little TT9 brand is there.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. With
Hang
these,
on for a sec. Just had to stop. The new dog was running around with some parts off the Montesa. So.
okay, righto. With these carbs, whether you encounter one or not, you may. You just got to be very careful with this the air screw. They're very, very fine metal and very easily damaged. So you've got to be a bit careful with the screw itself. Now, that's the main jet holder. These are quite a good carby. That's the main jet holder. If you want to get to the main jet, quite simple. You just unscrew that and there it is. And there's the main jet. Now, these main jets are common with a lot of early carbies.
Yeah, okay.
I've got a box full of these out in the shed.
Yep.
That's a 280, which means it was probably on a 350 or something. It's branded Amel 280. So probably your 280 would have been on a 350, I would imagine.
Yep. That 350 we've got here, what did that have in it?
1,000.
Yeah, because it's been run on methanol.
Methanol. Yeah,
Yep.
The other one, we had another one, or we've got another one of these that was on the boozer slider that we're going to restore. Well, we're not going to restore it, we're going to resurrect it. It had 1,000 main jet in it, which, you know, you could drive a horse and cart through it.
Yep.
That was from methanol.
Fantastic.
But, yeah, and they had an air slide on the side here, like a sort of a choke arrangement.
Yes.
Except in a separate chamber, which was good. I don't know whether this carby has had a different bell mouth put in it, but when you screw this in, it fits nicely and everything, and it came out of there. But if you look down the throat, you can see
there's a bit of a step there.
There's a bit of an interference step there.
Yep.
So before we use that, we'll maybe set that up in the lathe and just take a little bit out of it, or just grind a little bit out of it carefully, just to give it a bit better flow. But other than that, this carby is in good condition.
It is. That's fantastic.
And I thank the guy that gave it to me. He knows who he is. He gave it to me. Yeah, it's a good carb, and it will get used. Yeah, and that's the lid off it, of course. Same as most other carbs. That just screws on there, like so. And I'll tell you something interesting, that the choke on this has never been hooked up, because when I'll just show you the little choke slide. It's a little brass slide that slides down there like so. It's got a spring on it. And when I pulled it out, the brand new cable nipples from 1950 something.
Still sitting in the bottom.
Still sitting in the bottom.
Fantastic.
So
and that runs a remote float bowl too, doesn't it?
No, but it's a separate bowl.
Separate
not remote.
Bowl. Yeah, righto.
It's a separate bowl out here. It clamps onto there.
Yes. Yep.
With that clamps. That screws into this block. This is the main block that goes inside the carb. I've got to clean that up yet. That goes in there, down to the bottom, and then the jet holder, which also holds the bowl on, screws into there like so.
Okay.
And that way, see? So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. And I've got the slide and the needle, which is okay. I've even got the little cable adjuster that screws in there to move the air slide up and down.
Beautiful.
So,
it's a really good carby.
It's a good carby, that, yeah. You don't find them that good very often. The other one I've got off the boozer slide is we're running methanol, so it's been chewed a bit by the methanol.
Yeah, you can see that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Methanol and alloy just, they really don't go that well together.
No.
You've got to keep cleaning everything. If you race them and they're on methanol, when you get home you need to pull the carb off, give it a good wash in petrol, and that helps a bit.
Yeah.
But methanol is fairly destructive on alloy. That's probably why most of the guys that run really high performing methanol burning engines run cast iron engines.
Yes.
Like Beezers and so on.
Yeah.
And you can put a B33 or B31 Beezer on methanol, highly compressed, it'll go like a rocket ship, and you won't get much engine trouble due to running methanol. So.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yep, so there's a bit happening around here.
There is, and you ordered some parts from Ace Classics?
I did. I ordered some parts from Ace Classics in England, which was good. I ordered some fork damper rods for the Grand Prix Triumph.
For the Grand Prix,
I'll just take that off so you can have another look at it. There she is. I've ordered some fork damper rods, and you can't get them anywhere in Australia. I rang up the guy over there, and he said, yep, no problem. He said, they're £90, and I said, oh, no worries. I said, I've got to have them, so send me out a couple of those, which he did. They arrived in under a week from London, about 6 days, 5 or 6 days they were here. I can't remember the exact time, but it was not a week. It was well under a week. They arrived at my back doorstep, And I was quite surprised when I opened up the package and had a look at the bill. It was 90 quid for two. I thought it was 90 quid for one. So I was pretty happy.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I was pretty happy.
Well, I just ordered probably $1,000 worth of stuff off them.
Yep.
And they quoted me £120 in freight.
Yep.
But then they ended up giving me about £40 back because they overquoted. I've never heard of that before.
No, they could have hung on to that and not said anything. But
Yeah.
they must be a good, honest business.
Yeah, it's a family business.
Yeah.
Father and son and the daughter, I think it is, or it might be the wife, the son's wife.
Yep. I would highly recommend them for Triumph stuff. They're mainly Triumph, aren't they?
Early Triumph, yeah.
Early Triumph now. And also the freight for those out here was £30, which I thought, well, coming from the other side of the world and in the other hemisphere, it's probably not too bad.
No, well, I wanted a full exhaust system, shockers and that.
Yep.
Big parcel.
Yeah.
I ordered some mudguards from another company.
Yeah.
And it was 8 kilos, and they wanted 200 Australian dollars to send 2 aluminium mudguards here, so I cancelled the order.
Yeah, have a go at you, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. So, another thing I've got to chase up for this, just for everyone's interest, is I'm buying 2 brand new Type 6 carbs from the UK to go into this. John Parker's organising those for me. I'll probably see him soon at Llanelly at the swap meet, the motorbike all bike swap meet in Llanelly. Don't forget that one. It's coming
We'll
up.
advertise that today.
It's coming up soon.
24th of March.
24th of March. There you go. Chris got the date in his head. Well, yeah, don't forget to come to that. I went to a swap meet just recently. I drove for an hour and a half to get there, and there was nothing there in regards to motorcycles. So I've decided I'm going to stick to very local swap meets and the motorbike only. So,
Yeah, well, it's just getting bigger and bigger every year.
yeah.
It is, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and hopefully it is good in March. We had one back in December, but I'm not quite sure how that evolved. There must have been something happening there. But anyway, I'd like to see it in December every year.
Yeah, so would I. It's a great event.
Yeah, but anyway, things are progressing with this. We've got the steering, the fork dampers now. The fork sliders are out at the powder coaters, and I've got brand new stanchions and brand new top caps, and everything. It's going to look good. It will look good. I'll be able to do the forks, and then I've got to get Chris to organise something with wheels. We're going to have to look at the wheels and see what we can do with those.
Well, that'll be next on the list, won't it?
Yeah, that's next on the hit list. Is some wheels. I have wheels, and I have the correct brakes and everything. So
I just need to be restored.
they need to be restored, the wheels. Yeah. But other than that, everything's going all right. Making progress here and there. So
Fantastic. We've got stuff everywhere at the minute, but we are getting through it.
we're going through it, and I don't mind doing a few jobs. It's good, I'm retired. It's good interest for me, and I fit a little customer job in between every now and again. I've got another one coming on Monday.
Okay.
I've got a believe it's a genuine factory Royal Enfield 350 bullet scrambler.
Oh yeah, we'll come get some pictures of that.
Yeah, it's very smoky, so I'm just going to pop the top end off the motor and see what's happening in there. Parts are no problem. You've got Hitchcocks in England. They've got all the oversized pistons. They've got bullet pistons, which are higher compression. So we won't have any issues with that, I don't think. We'll just pull the top end off it and see what's happening with it.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing that it's probably got broken rings or something, because he said it is very smoky.
Yeah,
So.
it sounds like it, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does start, but he said it's very smoky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll have a look at that for him. And then I've got the same guy, I've got his 500 matchless, his Selix Beach Racer. That'll be coming back to put the Maggie on and time it all up and put the carb on and tune her up and get it going.
Oh yeah, we should be here for the start up on that too, hopefully.
The Selix Beach Racer, yeah, that'll be, that's another project that's in the wind. So, yeah.
Excellent.
All's good. So, yeah, the guy with the Matchy and the Enfield, he will be here tomorrow morning with the Enfield and the
great.
trailer. So, yeah.
Excellent. So we'll get some footage of that at some stage. Yeah,
Just kick the dog.
the new dog. He's not used to the filming yet. He's under our feet, but he's doing really well.
He's going well. He's a good little bloke. Yeah.
Righto, we'll leave it at that, and we'll keep you updated.
you're playing for keeps.